Bad money habits are the #1 obstacle in the way of achieving financial freedom. So, let's not waste any time and dive into 6 money habits robbing you of your wealth. First off, let's tackle impulse spending. Impulse spending is the urge to buy something on a whim without giving it much thought. This habit can wreak havoc on your financial stability because these items aren't planned or accounted for in your budget. Buying things you want and enjoy is perfectly fine when it's in the budget. So, how can you overcome it? The key lies in mastering self-control. Start by making sure your budget is balanced, takes care of essentials and savings, and then dedicate some of your extra money towards saving for that want. What I like to do is take a picture of something at the store that would normally become an impulse purchase. I add it to an album called My Wants, and when I revisit my budget I go through that folder and I decide what things I'll save towards. Sometimes I realize I didn't actually want it that bad and I'll prioritize other wants first, or delete it from the album and move on. Embrace the power of delayed gratification by waiting before making non-essential purchases, and by saving for them. Next up is living beyond your means. Overspending or living extravagantly can put a serious dent in your financial health. There are many areas where we can save money without lowering our quality of life, but intentional choices are the only way we can do that. Are you eating out more than you cook meals at home? Do you spend more than you should on entertainment like concerts and outings? What about spoiling people you care about? Are you regularly getting gifts for people? This list could go on far too long, but a budget liberates you of all overspending. There are many recommendations for how much you should be spending on certain categories like transportation, food, housing, etc. But by having a budget, you'll be able to actually spot those expenses that are higher than they should be and address them. Lifestyle creep can be included in this category as well. This means avoiding excessive increases in spending when your income increases. It's perfectly okay to increase your budget for toys and entertainment when you get a raise. But if you earn an extra $300 a month after a raise, you shouldn't be spending an extra $300 on entertainment to go along with it, or worse, spend more than your raise. More on that later. It's called lifestyle creep because it creeps up on you and many people don't even know where all the extra money they're making goes, even shortly after getting that raise in the first place. Again, a budget can help you avoid this disaster entirely. The third damaging habit is neglecting savings. Remember, saving and investing for the future is crucial. But here I'm not talking about saving for items in the My Wants album. I'm talking about saving for your future and for protection. This means investing for retirement, saving for life-changing purchases like a new car or a down payment on a home, and making sure you have a healthy emergency fund. Saving for these items should always have a place in your budget. You will always have a car replacement somewhere on the horizon. You will always have emergencies you need to be prepared to pay for without having to use debt. And you will always need to plan for these by dedicating saving in your budget for each of them. A great way to do this is to adopt the pay yourself first principle. This means saving a portion of your income before you take care of any expenses. Your budget will tell you how much you can save. Set that money aside first thing whenever you get paid. This way, if your electricity bill is a little higher this month, your fund money takes the hit, not your savings intended for an emergency fund or a down payment. Those matter more than losing out on a little bit of entertainment for 1 month. Automating your savings contributions to ensure consistency and set specific financial goals are a great way to make yourself learn to live on what money you have left after you save. Bad habit number 4. Ignoring and accumulating debt. High-interest debt can quickly spiral out of control if neglected. Debt can single-handedly destroy any financial goals or dreams you ever have, and it must be treated accordingly. First, it's ideal to never accumulate debt in the first place outside of things like a mortgage. We could go deeper on that, but I already have a video on my channel discussing debt in depth, so feel free to check that out later if you'd like. If you already have debt, a few of the best ways to manage and eliminate it effectively is to focus on high-interest debt, or your smallest balances first. High interest is the most expensive type of debt, and often it makes sense to get rid of this first. That's called the debt avalanche method. Another great way is to tackle your smallest balances first. This frees up cash flow that you can then turn into extra payments on your next balance, paying off each form of debt faster than the next with larger monthly payments. That's called the debt snowball method. Both work well, but one can be better than the other depending on your situation. If you have a lot of high-interest debt, or a wide variety of debts, then debt consolidation loans can be worth a look. Now, this is only a good idea if you can actively lower your interest rate across the board, making high-interest debts less damaging. I know you all knew this next one was coming. Bad habit number 5 is not budgeting and tracking expenses. If you're not doing this, you're setting yourself up for financial failure. Not budgeting is like planning a cross-country road trip with no map, and not knowing where any of the gas stations are. Not tracking expenses can lead to uncontrolled spending. Running out of money before the end of the month or in between paychecks. There's a reason you never hear any wealthy individuals say they just wing it with their finances. This is not something that you just stumble into success with, you must tend to it like a garden. If you do, it will bear fruit. I've hit on budgeting a lot in this video, so the last note on this one is, a budget is a living document. You can't budget once and drive off into the sunset. You must revisit and adjust your budget on a regular basis. Your expenses and income will change over time, and your budget must change with it. Next up is undervaluing your skills and time, leading to under-earning. If you're well-educated and have a skill set that's valuable, you should be well aware of what your efforts are worth. You should also make sure you're regularly pursuing fair compensation based on that information. If you're asking for fair compensation, or a fair raise, and your employer won't pay you what you're worth, then it's time to look for a new employer. The days of company loyalty could be considered extinct. The numbers don't lie. Individuals who leave a company for a position with another in exchange for a raise often make a significantly higher amount of money over their lifetime. Your company, most often, will not advocate for you getting the wage you deserve. You, and only you, will do that. Next, you must value your time. If you aren't trained, educated, qualified, or otherwise skilled in an area that allows you to earn more money and increase your earning potential, then you need to use your time to pursue that. There are many ways you can increase earning potential, whether that be certifications, going to college, pursuing employer training, whatever it is. Use your time to increase your value and what you can earn. The truth is, you simply cannot afford not to. Cultivating positive money habits is the key to achieving financial freedom.